Welcome back to the Birdhouse Mock Draft Monday on the Dynasty Rewind. And tonight, we're joined once again by Mike Lamoureux, the fantasy nerd boy. And this week, we've got Jeremy Popes in the house. Jeremy, how you doing this evening?
I am ready to mock draft. This will be the first one of the year for me. So that's exciting. So I'm excited. We'll talk about it. Some rookies. Excited.
All right. Why don't you tell the folks what you've got going on this off season so far?
Yeah, so most of my work is over at either FTN or my Substack, which is Beyond the Chalk. FTN, I've got a ton of scouting reports up. Been kind of working on those throughout the entirety of the season. I think we're probably over 30. I think of them that I have up over there. More will be coming. Kind of work the top names back. So most of the bigger names are over there. You can check all those out. So that's some fun for that. And then other than that, yeah, just gonna have some articles and stuff, posting stuff on Twitter and Blue Sky. Just hanging out, talking some prospect, tape, some analytics. Lots of fun.
Awesome. And speaking of prospects, Mike, this week you've got Jeremy doing one of the prospects. Who are your two prospects this week?
Me and Jared just talked Casey Concepcion, and it was nice, man. First of all, Jared's been joining me for this series every year, and I love this guy. If you're not following him, we talked about this a little bit the last pod. He got the Bitcoin hack, and he started his new account. If you're not following,
my old
Jared,
account's living large, man. My old account is living large. I wish I was my old account. I've seen some other pictures, man. That's a nice house. Car.
Go follow Jared's at Popes_FF. So Popes_FF. If you're not following Jared, go do it, please. He can't get his old account back. Go follow his new account right now. So the rookie profiles, obviously Casey Concepcion's doing. We're doing Wednesday, and then we're doing Ted Hurst on Friday. So nice. I'm with Dynasty Dog Mike over there from. He's Devi Planet. He's on a bunch of different networks over there. So he's a good mind to kind of break down. I love the Devi guys because they've been looking at these guys for years, so I really like going for them when it comes to rookie profiles. But yeah, a lot of content coming out on the channel, a lot of stuff going on. So you guys definitely stay tuned.
All right. Well, let's get into this mock draft. So this week we added a little caveat. We are going to use Chad Reuter's 3-round mock draft from NFL.com to give us a little context, some landing spots, draft positioning. So, and then we decided to give the new guy, Jeremy, the 101. So, Jeremy, it is now also we can still trade for the pick. So, Jeremy, when your pick comes up,
you can trade,
throw it on the block, and then see if Mike or I can throw something at you that you like. All right. We just kind of throw a random made up trade.
He hit me with this last week, and I was like very unprepared for trading. But now that we have a mock draft,
what did I offer you? George Pickens and the 105?
George Pickens. You offered me George Pickens like 7 times. And I was like, we're not doing this anymore.
I just want to off of him. All right. So Jeremy, it is on you at the 101.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna trade it, so sorry to bust your bubble. Gets too complicated for me in mock drafts here. Either way, landing spots or not, I think for me 101's pretty clear. It's just Jeremiah Love. I don't want to make that mistake. I don't really care where he goes. This landing spot in this mock here is New Orleans, and that's not even terrible, to be honest. I know Kamara's hanging around, but let's be honest, this could easily be where he takes complete over there in that offense, and with Jeremiah Love, passing game as well, work, the rushing game, the just freak athlete abilities of Jeremiah Love. Is he probably generational? No, but the indicators are pretty strong for him. So I will just sit with Jeremiah Love. I think the landing spot's good. New Orleans will give him plenty of opportunities. And even if he has to sit a little bit and see a little bit of limited touches in year 1, I'm in for it on year 2 and beyond. So, yeah, pretty simple for me.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no mix in between there. I don't care where he's going at this point. I think that it's like Bijan to Atlanta his rookie year. Everyone was like, "Oh, I hate that spot. I hate that landing spot." No, don't do it. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
same with Jahmyr Gibbs, right? I mean, everybody, who know?
Yeah, David Montgomery was gonna
Yeah.
steal his milkshake.
Yeah,
Was
He
gonna
did
drink
for
his
a bit.
milkshake.
A little
He
bit.
did actually. First like 4
A little
games,
bit.
5 games. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got our first pick down. Now, for those of you who maybe aren't able to bring up Chad Reuter's mock draft, the next consensus 4 did fall this way. Mendoza went 1 to Las Vegas. Mekhi Lemon went at 6 to Cleveland. Carnell Tate at 14 to Baltimore, and Jordan Tyson at 18 in a trade from Minnesota to Philadelphia. The Eagles scoop up Jordan Tyson. So we can talk a little about that. I'm sure it's an A.J. Brown trade we'd be looking at if that were to actually happen. But at the 102, it's on me. And so it's on the block. Anybody want to throw me an offer? Because I don't really need a quarterback. And I'm sure one of you guys is quarterback hungry.
You have me lost the trades. Mike should be more prepared for this.
You know what? At this point, it's chalky chalk. So I'm not doing any move ups. I'm going to move back if anything. But
all right. Well,
I hate this guy's mock. By the way, I just think it's gross. I don't know if it's ever going to fall this way. But if the Ravens
I am going to take Mendoza,
receiver,
then if nobody wants to offer me anything, because my squad is fully loaded, and I'm just going. I mean, I love the receivers, and it's hard to pass on them, but I think Mendoza could be the real thing, and so I don't want to pass on that. I mean, I just like him better than Cam Ward last year, and I think that in that situation with Las Vegas, I like Kubiak, I like Bowers, Genty around him. I think that he's got a good head on his shoulders, so I think he can dive into the NFL and handle a playbook early on because he's going to be playing right from the rip. And yeah, I'll take that shot on it. The hit rate isn't as high on quarterbacks in the top 5, but I'm willing to take that chance here on Mendoza. I like the kid, so yeah. If I've got multiple 102s, I probably flip this around maybe some, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Mendoza here in this one. All right, Mikey, it is on you at the 103.
I'm with Jamie on this. The Lemon to Cleveland grosses me out too much, and if I'm going off of this mock, I love Lemon. I think Lemon would pretty easily be my wide receiver 1 in this class. I think that Jordan Tyson to the Eagles is pretty juicy, especially if we're looking at A.J. Brown possibly not being there. But if A.J. Brown and Slim Reaper are still there with Jordan Tyson, I don't like that at all. I hate that.
Did you not watch the Eagles offense this year?
I know. I did. I sure did. They couldn't sustain 2 wide receivers. So if there's 3, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be like, but I don't see the Vikings trading the first round pick. First of all, I just think that's silly, but I'm going Carnell Tate with Lamar Jackson. Stop it. I mean, that's too much. I think that I don't know if the Ravens are going to go there. I don't think Carnell Tate's going to be there in the mid first. I think that there's a real possibility of Carnell Tate going to the Titans or maybe even the Giants. But if he's there and the Ravens snag him, lined up with Zay Flowers, we talked about Zay Flowers a little bit in our KC Concepcion pod. I like that a lot.
All right. Sounds good. Jeremy, you're up at the 104, and I've got an offer for you if you're willing to hear real quick.
Is it George Pickens?
It is not George Pickens because this team, no, it does not have George Pickens, but it does have Travion.
Like I couldn't trade him last year, so I'm a new team this year. Let's see.
So it does have Travion.
I'll listen
Henderson,
to it.
And I'm willing to give you Travion and the 111 for this pick and Wan'Dale Robinson. I need some wide receivers.
Kind of like that, actually, a little bit. I don't know, but
I mean, I'm gonna say no. I feel like if I'm truthfully I'm just gonna say if I'm truthfully 1-4, it goes against my philosophy. Like at 1-4, I'm more than probably a running back away. And I actually don't mind Lemon to Cleveland. I know that some people said that's gross, but like that could be not bad. So I would take Lemon here. I would take Lemon over Tate, even if I was at 3. I think that when it comes down to it, the way that Lemon can be deployed is kind of a little bit of that Swiss Army knife, a little bit of used around the offensive line, short to intermediate type of areas. He has one of the better indicators as far as yards per route run, really kind of smashes both Tyson and Carnell Tate in that indicator going forward, as well as it's an offense that we saw, depending on who they have at quarterback, like there is no real weapons. Like, I mean, they have Jerry Jeudy. You could argue, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit there. Harold Fannin had a little going on. We're going to see Quinshon Judkins, but he's going to be coming back from an injury. Like, we could, if Lemon's there, like he could see Jalen Waddle-esque type of targets in his rookie year. And I think he would smash and be very similar to what Jalen Waddle did with Jalen Waddle type targets in his rookie year. So, yeah, I don't mind. I think the trade offer is decent, but I couldn't pass up. He's my wide receiver 1. Like I'm not gonna pass him here at 4. I think that's really good value, even in a questionable landing spot with Cleveland. I know the quarterback situation is going to be kind of a mess, but I still don't, But yeah, Jamie, yeah, I'm also not a huge Harold Fannin guy. Like I think he's solid. I just think that it was a big volume type of play. I think involvement of better receivers. Could definitely see Fannin drop a little bit. Still a top 12 tight end. Like he's well within that range. But I just think that if they were to add somebody like Lemon or something like that, you're definitely going to see Fannin fall. So, because I think if you're taking Fannin or Lemon at 6, it's not to not use them. Like you're not going to all of a sudden keep throwing to Harold Fannin if you just drafted a receiver basically top 5, So yeah, I'm in. So sorry on the trade.
Well, Jamie,
I'm probably the worst person to bring on if you're trading because I don't trade a ton in general. So
yeah, so Cleveland's an interesting landing spot just because it is the Browns, and that's kind of gross. And so, like,
yeah, but we can't live in it,
Yeah. You're not
supposed in this scenario.
Historically, like, they're just a bad franchise.
I mean, that's fair.
Do you think that Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback next year for the Cleveland Browns?
If he's healthy, 100%.
Really? That's an interesting. That 100%. Would be an interesting.
There's no way. The only reason he's still on the roster, they paid him too much money.
The contract alone is the reason why you have to start him. I think you can't just have all that money on the books and not give him a shot.
You also saw, Shadur showed some stuff, but, Dylan Gabriel ain't it. Like, you ain't got nobody else. You're not in a spot to draft anybody, unless you trade up and give up a ton, but they've tried that. That didn't work. So, I don't think they're going to do that and shell out for Mendoza. I think that they're going to try to get Watson back. If Watson can't get there, you see another year of Shadur Sanders, and then they draft somebody in 2027. It's probably their route.
I think that hurts Fannin if Watson is the guy, because Fannin and Shadur, Fannin scored 3 more points per game with Shadur.
And then Lemon's going to kill Fannin too, because again, it's that lower target ADOT type of territory that Lemon could operate in as well. So I also think they bring another tight end in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Isaiah Likely. Like I could see him coming over from Baltimore to follow Munkin. So like I could see them definitely having, even though Njoku's moving on, like I could see them adding another tight end. I think they're going to add a receiver in the draft. I don't know if it'll be Lemon at 6, but I think they will definitely take a receiver, if not more than one. And they'll probably try to address it in free agency. I'm sure they're going to kind of load up the offense a little bit to help because they know the deficiency at quarterback. So,
sure. All right. So it's on me now at the 105. And I don't know if you guys got an offer for me, but Steve's got an offer. He wants to throw the 105 or throw Marv at me for the 105. Man. Well, without knowing who the quarterback is yet in Arizona, I mean, I don't mind the coaching hire, but it's really tough to say, like, if Brissett is there, even without him winning any games, I like it, but I think I would still keep it. If I'm going after Marv, I want to pay a little less, I guess, is where I'm at on Marv. I don't know about you guys, what you think of the 105 for Marv. I think it's fair. But in this case, like, I'd probably rather gamble on Jordan Tyson if it's true. I don't see Philly doing this deal unless they're trading AJ Brown. So as hard as it is to trade AJ Brown with their cap situation, I mean, I don't know if you guys have really looked into it. It seems like it's a lot harder to deal him than people seem to be showing out in the media here. It seems like everybody thinks they can get off AJ Brown easily. It seems to me like the team acquiring him would be having to cough up a lot of money, or the Eagles.
What is AJ Brown's guaranteed money right now?
It's like 25 million. So
I just don't see him trading AJ Brown with the connection to Hurts, etc. Like, I just don't see, like, to me, trading him unless Hurts gave them the blessing is like a devil's kiss of, like, you're gonna really piss your quarterback off. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't know, but like I'd be intrigued with Marv. Now the issue that we have too, though, is like later in this mock draft, they have them adding Zachariah Branch. So like they're also adding wide receiver issues in Arizona, which now you've got, say, Branch, Harrison, Wilson, McBride. Like, as much as I like Marv, like, we still haven't seen it from him. And like you said, I'd almost want to pay less. Like, it's tough, but like you said, I'd almost rather have the dart throw on Tyson or even like Concepcion or Boston, like in these landing spots in this draft in the first round. So I'd probably, 2 or 3 picks later, I'd probably be in, but not here probably.
Yeah, I mean,
I think 106 is
Buffalo.
106 is where you draw the line, I think, for me, with Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that outside of 105, we talked about these set it and forget it prospects. 106, you could maybe convince me if we're talking about these landing spots specifically, even though I really like where Boston and Concepcion land in this draft. We haven't gotten there yet, obviously, but I don't know. I think that Tyson, even though I love the long term, I think you'd be looking at a nice massive dip where you could buy him back at a cheaper cost if he does land on a team with AJ Brown and, Devonta Smith. And then if we're talking about them coming back with the full team that they had before, Jalen Hurts could not sustain the likes of both guys. They're never going to have all 3 guys hitting at the same time. They're going to alternate. They're going to cannibalize each other. It's not going to be a fun situation for anybody on that team, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume AJ Brown's getting traded, and I'm going to go ahead and take Tyson. And then it would be on you, Mike, at the 106, which is sort of
so Tyson is projected to go to the Eagles at 18, and then we're going to go all the way to 20, where Denzel Boston is going to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at 21, where Casey Concepcion is going to the Steelers. I mean, that's a good, juicy decision, honestly, because I think, when you listen to our rookie pod, we really talk about Denzel Boston and Concepcion, and we talk about who we'd rather have, and where we would rank these guys, and and with these landing spots, I think I gotta go Boston slightly, and that is just because they're starving for a playmaker on that team. And Boston doesn't have the holes that, some of the other draft picks. I'm not going to drop names, but, the guy that likes cookies a lot, the guy that they went and got in past year's draft. He doesn't resemble him at all. He's a good contested monster, but I think that there's more to his game than just a contested catch as opposed to the cookie guy. So I think I got to go Boston. I think they're going to make that team revolve around Denzel Boston. If that's the landing spot, I think that he's going to be the 1A on that team. And I think he's going to have a monster rookie year. So that's where I'm going with that.
All right. There
As
it
a
is.
Buffalo fan, how do you feel about that? Would you rather have Boston or Concepcion on your team? Because you comped Concepcion to Shakir. Would you want two of the similar guys on the team?
So personally, my hope is they actually go defense in round one. I personally like Jacoby Lane a lot. I think they can get Jacoby Lane a little bit later and play the X role in this offense, while allowing still Khalil Shakir and Kincaid to kind of be the two targets. That's who they want it to be. It's going to be a lot of James Cook. They want Kincaid to be more involved. You see it in games that he can actually play. If he can stay healthy, the offense is completely different. So it's really run through Kincaid, Shakir, and Cook. So like the perimeter guy doesn't need to be elite. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm content with like going defensively in the early rounds, because I think they need some serious help there, and then taking the later shot on like Jacoby Lane or somebody like that, because you already know that you have Keon Coleman as well as an option later in the draft. Well,
yeah, I think
already on your roster.
I agree with that. I like that. I honestly think that Jacoby Lane could be almost better than Boston if he's in the right position. Obviously, I think that Boston has more of a route tree and can kind of be a more plug and play ready type of player. But I think Lane offers a higher ceiling when it comes to just like his overall athletic ability. I think they have a similar jump ball skill set. And I also think that Lane would be more of a true X than Boston would be. But we lost Chris over here. We lost the whole draft board, honestly.
We lost everything.
So I don't know if he's coming back, but we can just run this as a 2-man show right now if we need to.
Right. Dynasty Rankings.
You're up anyway, right? I think. Or is Chris?
Yeah.
Chris is up after us. Why don't we just hit the next pick? And we'll talk the next pick.
We'll see if he makes it
so
back.
Obviously,
we'll talk Casey Concepcion again.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna go. Yeah, let's go right there.
Is it still actually live? Are we still rolling? Casey Concepcion would be my pick here. Landing spots again. You have some interesting ones. I think we got Omar Cooper in the second round to Tennessee. Does get a little interesting just because of the volume potential. But I'm still going to take the talent paired with the volume potential here with Casey Concepcion. Pittsburgh's in need of a receiver, especially a Z receiver. Obviously, Metcalf playing on the perimeter there. They've really struggled to get anybody involved as far as the receiver position went. Concepcion is actually a really good fit in that offense to be able to play the Z inside, outside, moved all around the formation and get some heavy touch volume. I'm definitely in on Casey Concepcion in Pittsburgh. If he doesn't go to Buffalo, because just selfishly I like the player and want him there, Pittsburgh is a close second. I think just seeing his name next to it, thinking about the situation, his ability to separate and the speed that he would bring to that offense. Obviously question marks around the quarterback position going forward, and I know it's Mike McCarthy, so I think that they could at least generate enough touches for Casey Concepcion to be a pretty vaunted passing threat there for him.
Oh yeah. That's with the understanding and the idea that Aaron Rodgers is going to return to that team. I think that he would do wonders for somebody like Concepcion, his first year in the draft or in the league. As far as the skill set goes, I think that he could get him pretty much all over the field. And I love the fit with the understanding that they have a quarterback. If Rodgers doesn't show back up, I don't know if it's going to be Mason Rudolph or if they're going to go grab whatever. But we got Jamie talking about Roman Wilson. I think Concepcion is way more polished than a Roman Wilson in a draft. I think we're talking about a first round rookie guy compared to somebody what Rome was a fourth round, fifth round guy. Was he right? I think he was right. I think that was kind of like a throwaway pick at that point anyway. The hit rate of those guys it's not gonna be high percentage. Let's just pull up this trade question that we have real quick, and then I'm gonna try to get Chris back into the draft so we can get the rookie board back up. We got our buddy Jared asking, would you trade the 110 and the 211 for a random 27 first? The team's first was 105 this year, but is young and upcoming, but not a top 3 team. I don't think I would make that trade right now. I think that that's probably a trade that you could possibly get more value for when the rookie draft comes around. I mean, 110 could be, if we're going to go off of this draft, it could be like somebody, like there's a lot of decent running back spots. Like we have Jadarian Price going to Houston. We have Katron Allen going to Kansas City. There's a lot of teams that need running backs. There's a lot of teams that are going to probably jump on wide receivers early too. What do you think, Joe? Are you going to make that trade?
I think I would. I'm assuming 110 and 210. Obviously, you have two of the same picks. It's probably your actual picks, Jared. Which, assuming that your team's either won the league if it's a 10-man league, or it was very close in a 12-man league, which puts you probably only a few pieces away, if not just bad luck or injuries away from winning the league. And I think 110 to 2 and 210, like 210 is kind of just a throwaway. Like there's not going to be anybody super viable at that position, in my opinion. You might get lucky. I just don't think that there's much in this class outside of the top 12. So 110, you're kind of in a territory you might get somebody pretty decent, because we were just at 7, I think, was Concepcion. So you're looking at Cooper probably comes off somewhere in here at 8, being in Tennessee. Bernard went to Denver. I'm sure he'll gain some hype there, so that's probably maybe 9-10 territory. Like you said, Price is in Houston. That would garner some serious likes there. He'll drive up. Eli Stowers went to Denver. That's a really good spot for him. I could see him being a borderline top 1. The Katron Allen KC bump would be huge. He'd probably be right in that territory. Emmett Johnson went to Minnesota in round 3. So that's not terrible, but all kind of players that will probably be in play if this was the actual situation. So I personally would make that move. I think the 27 class as it sits today, a lot better, especially in Superflex. You're going to have way more quarterbacks. It's a better running back group if they all declare. Wide receiver, it's definitely more talented at the top end. So I personally don't hate it. I would like something else back. Like I'd want the 27 first and like a third. I'd want 2 for 2 picks. I'm not going to give up just my first and second for a random first. I definitely want like that first and maybe a random third or something else, maybe 2/3, something that you could work out to kind of make it worthwhile. 210 doesn't really scare me. Like I said, I don't think there's going to be a ton of fantasy viable players left at 210, especially in a 12-team league. So it's really 110 for like a random potential top 10 pick next year. Like And that's it. You got to kind of forecast it. Yeah, he has a young team, like you said. There's a chance he gets better. Also, a chance that he's not that good. You could see some of these guys. It depends on who he has. Like what if he does have Harold Fannin? What if Fannin does regress if they take Lemon? Or what if he has Drake May and Drake May regresses? Like there's a lot of factors in there and trying to predict what they will be in the next coming seasons. So I'm willing to take that gamble. If my roster's solid and I finish at 110 because I'm like one piece away that I could trade something else for to get to, or I am 110 because I had some bad injury luck, or one of my players, maybe I had Garrett Wilson, and that's why I finished 110 instead of potentially winning the league. Like that's the way I would look at it, just why I was 110 instead of 12. And if I can insulate the fact of not needing to add a player at 10, I would definitely take the value, because I think next year, I mean, heck, if you get a top 5 pick next year, you'll be really happy you made this trade.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the 210 is ancillary. By all means, that's a throwaway pick. We're probably looking at, like maybe the wide receiver 7 or 8 of this class, or the running back 6 or 7, just because this class doesn't have any quarterbacks. It is tough when it's all said and done. These are the quarterbacks that are going to push all the value down, and we don't have that.
The wildest thing is though that this mock draft, and again, if we're assuming this mock draft, like they took quarterbacks in the 3rd round and all in good spots. Of like Carson Beck went to Arizona, Nussmeier went to Miami, Drew Allar went to Pittsburgh. Like they're not exciting prospects, but like those are good landing spots. And in a super flex league, like if that's also what the league is, like you might see these guys go in the 3rd round of your super flex drafts, maybe 2nd if someone really loves that spot. But yeah, it's going to be a later in the drafts. You're going to see a lot of mid-tiered wide receivers and quarterbacks that have a very low hit rate. So yeah. I wouldn't hang myself on that 210, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, take it, just because the 27 class is so deep. We're looking at one of the deepest classes, and I know we say that every year, but realistically, this is definitely the class that you want to get a random first in, because I have these first valued as a higher pick in this class, and the second's kind of valued as a late first in this class. Currently, anything can happen. Like this is always what's said outside of this class. But I mean, it's just a historically bad class. So I think that I would probably take the dart in a better projected class by all means. We might have Chris back over here. I don't know if
there we are. Good. All right.
What's up, dude?
So it's working on my phone. I mean, I'll do this. That's fine. I don't know if you can. Mike, are you able to bring up the sleeper draft board there? I shared the link on Twitter.
Possibly. I think I might be able to pull that baby up. If you did share it with me, I'm not seeing it though. I got the StreamYard.
Okay.
Is it in
2 messages after that? Maybe the messages didn't go through. I'll try sharing them.
Yeah, send it over, man. It's all good. We've been moving it along. It's actually your pick right now too. So we
okay.
So obviously we only went 1 pick so far. So we actually went Casey Concepcion after Boston. You're on the clock. If you want to just shoot from the hip without the draft board, or if you want to pull it up real quick or send it to me, either way, we can keep this rolling. Chris, you with me?
I don't know. I think we lost him.
I don't think he is anymore. All right. Well, let's keep it moving, man.
Am I here? Am I here?
You are, kind of. You are.
All right. Well, I'm not going to try and share the draft board. That's what I was doing, and that must have lost something. So I'm going with Jadarian Price. Put it down at the 108. So he would move up on my board if this was the landing spot. I like the Houston landing spot. he can move ahead of Woody Marks. Woody Marks can be the third down back then that we all thought he would be when they took him initially. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going Jadarian Price. You guys can move on to the 109 while I try and share this draft board. All right.
All right. So am I the 109? I believe I am, right? I'm gonna jump all the way up, and I'm going. I love the landing spot. I love the fit. We're gonna go all the way to, I believe, the third round. Because at this point, you're talking day 2. When it's a day 2 running back, it doesn't matter to me if it's the second or the third round or wherever. Did I go past this pick? Maybe. Where are we looking? There he is. I'm going Katron Allen to Kansas City with the 74th pick in the third round. I just, we're talking about a wide open backfield. And if they don't sign anybody, I mean, I like Breece Hall going to that team. I like a lot of guys. I could see so the free agency class is pretty deep this year for running back. We're looking at Etienne. I think Swift has an out. I think that Chicago could easily move off of Swift. We are also looking at Breece Hall. Who else am I missing right now? There's definitely a few other guys that are pretty juicy.
So it's Breece Hall, it's Travis Etienne, it's Javonte Williams, it's Isaiah Pacheco is a free agent. You have Kenneth Walker, Kenneth Gainwell.
Kenneth Walker. I'm missing
you
Walker.
have Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier. It's a pretty deep class. I wouldn't say top end deep, but like it's
pretty
a deep free agent group.
I think that Katron Allen could easily. Let me see if I can mess with this board here. Oh, I can't even edit the board though, which is unfortunate. That's all right.
Yeah, no, probably because he made it. It's typically how it works. You could remake another one. Take a minute, but
yeah. All right. Chris, are you still in the draft in the stream? Are you live? No, he's gone. He's so dead. All right. Where are you going with the next pick, Jer? What do you think?
No, I'm here. I can hear you guys. I'm gonna try and set this. Yeah, I'm gonna try and set this board, but I sent it to you on Twitter, Mike, and it's just not going through. I can
open it. I can't edit it.
Oh, so. Yeah. Go ahead and edit. Go ahead and open it. I will make the edits. You had Concepcion is next at 107. I got you.
No, so we got Boston. Yeah, you're right here.
What would you look at? Yeah, I think it just freezes when he's doing something on his phone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to freeze his video while he's adding and editing something.
Oh, so he's on his phone right now. I got it.
Yeah.
Man, everybody that's watching live right now.
What's dedication?
Things are messy. We appreciate you staying on with us. Obviously, things are a little messy, but we are kind of captaining.
It happens. I mean, it's part of what we do. You know, it happens. So
this draft board is leaving a lot of meat on the draft
here
at 110. I mean, obviously, landing spots are kind of making people jump the shark a little bit, but I don't even see where Jonah Coleman goes in this draft board. Do you guys see him anywhere?
No, he didn't go in the first 3 rounds. Corner this guy.
That's kind of wild, dude.
That's wild.
I don't know how much this guy gets paid to drop these mock drafts, but that's pretty tough. I don't see Jonah. Sadiq's over there. Where's Emmett Johnson? Where's
He went to Minnesota.
He
Oh,
found him. I didn't even see Emmett Johnson the first time I looked through it when I wrote down everybody.
That's a pretty good landing spot, though.
Yeah, I like Minnesota. Yeah, third round Minnesota. I mean, even if it's the last pick in the third or one of the last picks in the third, I do like that one.
Who's up? Is it me or is it Chris?
It's on you. It's on you, Jeremy.
Okay. So I'd probably go Sadiq here. He's really close to me with Eli Stowers, and Stowers' spot's a little juicier. So it's tough, but just appeared round 1 draft capital. No Tyreek Hill left in Miami. The direction the team's taking, I think that if they draft them here, they're going to want to use them pretty heavily in the passing attack. So I'll go with the athletic guys. Needs a little bit more refinement and stuff like that. Little undersized kind of for the tight end position, a little bit short as far as the length goes. So some concerns there with Sadiq, but the overall athleticism paired with what could be a pretty vanilla offense with who they brought in. At least though, maybe it will target the tight end heavily if they're taking him this early. So yeah, I'll go there. I also think just good value. I mean, a 10, like that seems the spot where I'd start to consider him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That especially in a tight end premium league that most people are in.
If I knew I had an early second round pick, I'd probably wait and go somebody else here. But if I know I have a late 2 and I want a tight end, I'd probably go Sadiq or Stowers with the landing spots here. So,
yeah, I don't mind Stowers to Denver. I mean, that's a decent landing spot. But I'm going to go Ty Simpson. That's just too high of draft capital for me to pass on. I know it's the Jets, and that is totally gross, but it's drafting the position, the fact that he'll get a shot. If he's picked 16th overall, I don't know that he's starting week 1 necessarily, but he's going to be starting at some point in October probably. So I think I'm going to go with the positional pick. There is really what it is, and I'm just going Ty Simpson to the Jets at the 111.
Nice. I know that you both mentioned Eli Stowers. I'm going to just tap that guy right now. I think that, Ingram was a disappointment. I see that this draft class or this mock draft has Jeremy Bernard going to Denver. I'd rather take Stowers all day. I think if I'm looking at somebody as a first round bust, Jeremy Bernard is that guy. He's a very heavy line of scrimmage guy. He's like slightly better Zachariah Branch in my mind when it comes to his profile. I can't see him as a first round talent, but hey man, if you want to burn that, go for it. And I'll take Stowers in the back end of the second there.
All right. He's all yours. And I agree with you on Jeremy Bernard. That's just, I don't know what this guy was on doing that. But all right. Jeremy, it's up to you now at the top of the second. What are you thinking here?
I think I'll take the value in Omar Cooper. I'm not as high as everybody else on him, but I think there's a really good spot at 2-1. Lands in Tennessee. I would be excited for him there. No real clear weapon. I mean, I know Shimmery DK kind of came on, and then we saw some out of Alec Aomanor, but really no receiver unless Ridley can come back and play. But yeah, I think Omar Cooper could learn a lot from Calvin Ridley to begin with as well. I think that this is a good spot for him. Could kind of be the go-to receiver there for Cam Ward moving forward. And an offense I'm pretty excited to see with Brian Daboll at the helm there. So I like that in this grouping of these receivers here, kind of guys that are similarly around him. I think that's the best landing spot in this grouping. Yeah, so I'm in on that there. I think the best shot to be a true alpha receiver as far as target volume goes could be there for Cooper there. So yeah, I'm in on it here at 2-1.
All right, Jeremy. Now I'm perplexed here at 202 because I like that Branch got taken 34th overall. Arizona confuses me. Like, are they trading Michael Wilson, or I mean, I know that Branch is more of a slot guy underneath. He can fill that role for them, but man, fantasy wise, that just doesn't bode well for his numbers with Marv and of course McBride there too. So like, oh, this makes it really tough. This is where I'm definitely trading out and getting what I can.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Man.
trade you for this pick 100%. I
Oh,
still think
yeah?
it's good here. Definitely.
What
George Pickens.
Where's my team? Where's my team?
What?
See,
George
this would be
Pickens, I don't think you're giving me Pickens for it, but
I'd
Not
be an
Pickens.
all-in
Well,
like
I'll give
trade
you-
up. You know, like I would do like
What would
what veteran running back can you throw me? I'll take a veteran running back. What veteran running back you got for the
put
202 here?
armrest down?
would
for
you
this
take
one.
out of curiosity just to gauge your vibes on it? Would you take Javonte Williams?
Yes, I would. I just offered the 112 in one of my leagues for Javonte Williams. I also have the 101 and 107 and the 112 and 201. So
If
I
you
want
take,
to. I
you
need a
snipe
running back.
me. If you throw Javonte Williams and snipe me here, Jer,
I will.
I'd
take
give him Javonte
Javonte.
Williams.
You go. The 202 is all yours.
All right, so that's a good value though. I feel like
That's a
Javonte
trade.
too.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take then Surratt.
You're taking
all right.
Surratt.
Yeah, I'd go
All
back
right.
to back.
Surratt in New Orleans
Okay.
at
I think
the what is
Surratt
it?
and-
Top of the third. Okay.
Yeah, I think Surratt and New Orleans is a pretty good spot. I have him and Cooper pretty closely ranked as far as their profiles go. And I think that outside, I mean, they have Olave, obviously, but they're still going to need more help. It looks like Tyler Shuck is kind of somewhatly at least semi the real deal for now, and if not the actual real deal, and they have a decent quarterback that can spread the ball around. I think Surratt paired with Olave could be really nice work here. I know he goes a little later than Cooper, but I like him as a chain mover, a PPR guy, Keenan Allen-esque. I really think here this is a good spot for him. The rest of the receivers taken in this draft, I don't like the spots. I don't necessarily like the profiles, so I would be fine. The only other guy that I'd have in contention here is a couple players that went really late that I think may slide a little more. So, yeah,
Sure.
I'd be at.
All right, Mike, it's on you then at the 203. Sounds like your guy's still there.
203. I'm going Emmett Johnson to Minnesota.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just think that we're looking at some aged out backs over there. I don't think that Aaron Jones is going to provide the same skill set. I think that we're looking at him with several injuries last year, really banged up, not able to carry a full workload anymore. I think that he's going to be more of, I'm not going to say he's just, he's a pass catching back. He is, he's got that skill set, but I think Emmett Johnson is probably going to come in this team and be a 1A and have Aaron Jones be the 1B. Honestly, I think they just got too much juice compared to Aaron Jones right now. So he probably could be a really good value in this landing spot.
Yeah, I like the landing spot for Emmett Johnson here. I mean, yeah, it's at the end of the third, but it kind of reminds me with Aaron Jones there. Just kind of thought it reminisced me of the New Orleans Saints backfield when Kamara came in, and he kind of had to bide his time. Now, I don't think Emmett Johnson is on Kamara's prospect level, but Kamara was in that loaded draft class that year, and so he kind of slid in the draft. And no, I like Emmett Johnson in Minnesota. Yeah, I like that fit. Jeremy, it's up to you here at the 204.
Like, what the heck is left here? This is just not good. All these landing spots are just bad. I guess I would take Chris Bell in Atlanta. Could have a chance to be, I guess, the compliment to Drake London.
Guys, where is Jonah Coleman though? Like, where is he going in this guy's mind? Like, where is he going in the fourth round? He's going in the fourth round of this draft class. Holy geez. I want to just take him, not even knowing where he's going.
Like Chris Bell's in that same tier as me for Bernard and stuff. And I just like the potential opportunity a little better for Chris Bell being in Atlanta as opposed to the crowded rooms of Denver. So yeah, I guess I'd take that shot there.
All right. Well, I'm going to lean back into quarterback here, and I like Nussmeier's landing spot in Miami. It gives him an opportunity to show what he's got. I know it's in the third round, but that's still day 2. That's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm going to take a swing on the quarterback here in this year's draft and hope that Nussmeier, I mean, I like Nussmeier more than Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Actually, I think that, I think he just has Ty Simpson. There's not a lot of. He's like a Marcus Mariota. He's played 16 games total in college. He's a really hard prospect to even figure out if he's good or not. I mean, he hasn't had the track record, or we don't have a couple seasons to look at. At least Nussmeier, we've seen what he brings to the table. We've seen the ups and downs. We can see the progression. We've seen the regression on him. I know that he has the ability to play. He plays at a high level under stress. I know that Ty Simpson regressed a little bit at the end of his 16-game stint. I don't know if I don't want to see him in the first round. He's being mocked a lot to the Steelers. He's got that, hey, we're going to be a Kenny Pickett style of play. Like, I don't like it. I don't like mocking a guy that's played 16 games in the first round, to be honest with you.
So speaking of Miami here with Nussmeier, do you think that, so we're hearing Malik Willis to Miami everywhere. It's almost like it's too much Malik Willis to Miami that it's just not going to happen now. And then so Miami shedding all this stuff, like when they're talking about possibly moving off Tua, they obviously dropped Tyreek for nothing. Yeah,
they're not going to trade for a quarterback. No way are they going to put draft capital on the board for a quarterback when they're showing their hand. They're saying we're going to punt this year. We're going to essentially have a bridge year on this team. I don't think that they're not going to try to compete totally. I don't think that wouldn't make sense if they're trying to open up all this cap space and then they go and trade for a guy and sign him to a contract. I could see a bridge quarterback. I could see
Willis, they don't have to trade for. I mean, he's a free agent.
He's going to get a massive bag, though. He's going to be probably the most sought after quarterback in the NFL right now as a free agent goes. They're going to have to sign him to a multi-year contract if they want to get him. They're going to get like a Flacco or somebody that can kind of bridge the gap, a Jacoby Brissett, somebody that, they can plug and play, and they'll take a rookie, or they'll keep, who were they starting last year? They had,
they've got the kid from, they got Ewers. He can start.
I mean, yours can probably sling it.
Ewers and Nussmeier
guy they're going to get in the second round right now. So
I think it depends on his market. But I could see him taking the Saints path a little bit more of like, not necessarily drafting him as high. This is the third round here, but taking a shot at one of these quarterbacks. If they don't work out in year one, like you just draft one next year, because your goal is to kind of be bad. Like you're rebuilding. Yeah, so the goal is like, if we're bad, like whatever, Yeah. So like,
I like that pick a lot. If they're going to get Nussmeier, he's an NFL. He's like the least project based quarterback.
Right.
I think
he's a gunslinger
in that range. I think he could be like.
I think the issue comes is like, what is Willis's market really? You know what I mean? Like there aren't that many teams that need quarterbacks though. Like cross the Raiders off, they're probably taking Mendoza. Like the Jets need a quarterback, I guess. But like
Arizona.
Justin Fields is still kind of there. Does Arizona though? Like, do they just ride out Kyler Murray? Like what are they gonna do with Kyler Murray? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what's the situation there? Like same thing even with Miami. Do they just ride Tua because like he's there and like they don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, outside of that, like where else are we looking? I'm trying to think. Like Cleveland, we talked about them with Watson and Sanders. Like there isn't
Pittsburgh possibly.
But Pittsburgh's probably going to bring Rodgers back, or they'll roll Rudolph, or like I guess the Colts. But do they just run it back with try to hope Daniel Jones is ready?
I mean, the Jets desperately need a quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do. They don't have anybody, and they're not in a range to even take somebody unless they go the route of taking somebody in the second round, third round.
I mean, Ty Simpson will be there for them if that's their route. I mean, in this mock, I think that's a fair thing. Like, I think Ty Simpson will be there.
Do you think Kyler and Tua would even want to play? I don't know. Could they just say their egos are so beat up from just being, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough look to go back to these guys after saying we're not gonna go with you. It's not like Anthony Richardson that was a rookie. These guys have been in the league for 4 or 5 years now.
They'd play somewhere, I'm sure. If they got moved, it depends where they go. But
I think we see a lot of guys like Kirk Cousins playing for a different team.
Yeah,
Cousins. I think Jacoby Brissett is going to be starting for a team. I think we're going to see a lot of ugly. Joe Flacco might be starting for a team. I don't know. I think it's going to be just ugly out there for a little while at least to start the season. I think there's going to be a weird transition, especially if Daniel Jones and these guys aren't ready to play. Michael Penix might not be ready to play. I just think it's going to be tough. An ugly scene out there for sure with the starting quarterbacks, at least. And there's a lot of value there. I mean, could Mac Jones get traded? I don't know. This is what happens when a really shallow draft class when it comes to quarterback happens.
Yeah, what is the market for Mac Jones? Like, what is somebody going to actually pay for Mac Jones? I've seen some crazy, thoughts, like a second and a third. I saw one to Arizona, a second and a third, and Michael Wilson. Like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, these are just wild ideas, and I just don't see them being realistic.
I think a third round pick, like in the actual
like a third, I can understand.
I don't know if they move them again. I don't think there's as big of a market. Like I just don't like. I mean, Arizona, okay, I guess you could argue, sure, but like Arizona, like I guess you could say Atlanta if Brissett's not ready and Cousins is gone. Like Cleveland's really not in the market. Like they kind of have whatever the hell they're doing over there. Indy, so that's 2. Like Casey's just going to roll it back up until Mahomes is ready. If he's not, Herbert, Stafford's good. Vegas is going to probably have Mendoza. So then you got Miami. That's 3. Minnesota's probably riding McCarthy. Like I don't see them backing out of that yet. The Jets. So that's 4. Pittsburgh, I guess you could say is 5, but I'm anticipating Rodgers to be back. And that's it. Like that's it. You got 5 spots, like if that's even the case, like some of these spots they may ride out, Tua may be back in Miami, Kyler might be back. So like I just don't see
we just listed trades. We just listed all these options that are out there. Like, why would you pay that much for Mac Jones?
Exactly. Yeah. And Mac Jones isn't a Super Bowl tier quarterback. Like he can maybe get you. I mean, we just saw Sam Darnold get some people there, but playing out is fine. But like without a lot of help, like Mac Jones isn't like your answer, so
you got to be set everywhere else. I mean, Seattle was ready to go everywhere else.
Like Mac Jones could make some sense in like Indy, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Kind of similar to Daniel Jones in that aspect if Jones isn't ready and like they don't have a lot of pieces around him. They got nothing to. They got Anthony Richardson though. They could send that back as your backup project.
Yeah.
So
All right. Mike, you're up here now at the 206. What are you thinking?
I mean, we're talking about Miami, and I think we're looking at, man, you're talking about Nussmeier going to Miami. I got Jacoby Lane going to Miami too, and I just think that could actually be a pretty good fit with Tyreek out of there. He could be a field stretcher for this team. He could be the contested catch monster that he's been all through college, and could probably have some big plays downfield if they do have a rookie quarterback and he's just trying to sling it. It could be a nice fit at some point. I think, lining up next to Waddle, where Waddle's going to be the route technician and Jacoby Lane's just going to be that go route boy. We got two Chris's.
There we go.
What do we got?
There we go.
You are having some difficulties, brother.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we're getting through this. All right. So Jacoby Lane to Miami, and you go with him at the 206. I do think that is a nice spot for him. I mean, what do they got? Malik Washington there opposite Waddle. I don't know who else they've got at wide receiver. So yeah, that would be a good opportunity there for Lane. All right, Jeremy, 207.
Man, this is pulling my heartstrings here. I guess out of default, I'll take Jeremy Bernard. I don't hate the player. I just like Denver just is disgusting. Like you got Stowers going there here. You got Bernard. You got Franklin, Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. Like it's just a disaster. I don't like the spot, but I mean, I guess in this territory this late, like there's one other guy I kind of like, but like I don't know, there's two probably, but like I don't love the landing spots either. So Bernard's the highest ranked left that I got, so I'll go there.
Yeah, I just don't understand the pick at all.
Yeah,
Denver.
I don't.
It doesn't make any sense. No. All right. So I'm up at the 208, and it's between Branch and Malachi Field. I'm just going to go with my guy, Zach Branch, and we'll see what happens there. If Arizona's trading one of their other two receivers or what, I don't know. But it seems like it could be a fun offense in Arizona. So Zach Branch is a fun player. He's got moves. I mean, I don't know who to comp him to exactly. Khalil Shakir, Parker Washington, maybe that kind of player.
I have him comped to Rondell Moore, man. I'm sorry for that.
He's better than Rondell Moore, though. He's better than Rondell Moore.
If all of it's a first level, so that's what scares me about Zachariah Branch. All of his damage is done, within that first level of the fields. And I'm not saying I've been a big Zachariah Branch fan for years, man. I had him comp to Tyreek Hill his rookie year, and it's tough, man. I mean, I think he could definitely be a weapon, especially if he's going this early in the draft. I think that there's a possibility that a team values his skill set. Because what does he have him going in the first round or second round, right?
Just at the top, top of the second. So 34th overall. I mean, they're going to get the ball in his hands if they're taking him there.
They have him going over a Mark Cooper Jr. I don't even see Chris Brazzell in here either.
Brazzell isn't even in here. I mean, I know we argued about him last week, but it's hard for me to take Brazzell right now.
All right. What am I up right now?
Yeah, you're up. You can take your boy. He's a UDFA here. 4th round, Brazzell.
I don't know if I got to keep going off of this mock, unfortunately. I mean, I would have taken a couple guys. Jonah Coleman would have been taken about a round and a half ago if we're talking about, value picks. But
Well, you can plug somebody in that isn't in the 3 rounds. I'm not opposed to that. If you're saying,
if we're going off of the mock, we've gone this far, right? I'm going Michael Trigg at the Atlanta Falcons at pick 48. Okay. That's with the assumption that we're talking about them being tight endless. You know, if they're not franchise tagging Pitts and Pitts is gone and Triggs is going to be the tight end 1 there with London, I think that's a pretty juicy landing spot for Trigg.
All right, there we go. Or because Stefanski's there, is he just going to tight end? And that's
either way, I think it's any tight end that's over there is probably going to be pretty valuable. I would love to see I would love to see Pitts stay there though and have him just
I think we all do.
What we saw last year.
All right, Jeremy, 210. Who do you want here? Getting thin.
This is the decision of the player I like more or the landing spot I like more. I'm gonna throw the giant dart and I will take Bryce Lance here. North Dakota State, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, explosive playmaker related to Trey Lance. That's cool. New England needs a receiver. He's a big-bodied receiver, perimeter receiver. His speed and big playability paired with Drake May just seems like it could be a match in heaven. Kind of what we thought Christian Watson would have been for Green Bay. We've seen some flashes from Watson. Maybe we could see the same here from Lance in New England. So, yeah, that would be it. I'm kind of in dart throw territory here, so I'll swing for the fences.
In college too?
Yeah, North Dakota State as Christian Watson.
He even looks like him too. He kind of
–
Oh, man. I'm looking at his picture right now. I'm like squinting. But
yeah, it's all the same.
Hey, I like the pick. He's definitely a sleeper in this class for sure. Well, he's got a lot of buzz in different circles.
Yeah, he is one of the higher yards per route run, you know, a good indicator there. I think he's actually at the top of the class, 3.05 is what it is, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me. Please hold. Oh, these are running backs. That's not going to help us. Do we lose Chris again?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably took him forever to find him.
So we had to put they don't even have Lance in there, sleeper yet.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Absurd that. Because he leads the class in yards per route run, like I just said. 3.05 for the year. Oh, shoot, he's right below CD Lamb. That must mean he's going to be CD Lamb, right? That's how that works. Oh, tied with CD Lamb. Shit. I just got CD Lamb this far back.
All right. I am gonna I don't know that this was the same team that I took Ty Simpson at the 111. Why not stack it up with Malachi Fields here? We're going, this is terrible process with the Jets, but
all right. Am I finishing this off right here? Is this the last pick?
Yes. Last pick. We'll get out of here.
All right. I will go with Antonio Williams and Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Might as well throw that dart out there. That
was my other guy.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fit, especially if they bring in. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. I don't know what their game plan is, but you have to assume they're going to bring some competition in there, right? They're going to bring somebody in to at least light a fire under JJ McCarthy's butt, if nothing else. I don't know how they're going to play that, but
you think they're mad they got rid of Sam Darnold?
They might be a little mad, a little disappointment, right? I mean, God, they could have. What did Darnold even get? He got like 3 years, like
3 for 100. Yeah, it was right at 3 for 100.
man, they would have got a discount with him, giving him the resurrection that he had. Like, they probably could have got him for 3 for like 80 or something, and just said, "Hey."
See, though, I don't think he's a Super Bowl quarterback in Minnesota, though. He needed that defense in Seattle. He played well.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he didn't, but like,
yeah,
Minnesota's defense isn't Seattle's defense.
No, that defense
that helps.
carried them. Like that's absolutely true. But he sure as hell would have won a lot more games than JJ McCarthy.
Well, yeah, that's not an argument. I'm just
at least
saying.
been in the second round of the playoffs, possibly. It's crazy the transition. Obviously, a lot of other things went wrong with Minnesota, but that was a tough watch. That year from Darnold to JJ McCarthy, I think that there's a lot of regret all around. Obviously, the GM got fired. There's a lot of movement going on in that team right now.
As a Bucs fan, I can say Sam Darnold did exactly what Brad Johnson did for us back in 2002. And so I don't know if that's a bad omen for Sam Darnold on the rest of his tenure in Seattle, but yeah, he put it together. It was lightning in a bottle, and he got it done. I mean, you win a Super Bowl, you can never get that taken away from you, right? So, I mean, he's better than Trent Dilfer. There's some other Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that are definitely worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just saying, it's silly if you're trying to say that the defense wasn't the main thing.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely was. Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Any final thoughts on this? I mean, this mock was not the most exciting, but as we know, as the NFL draft happens, we don't always get awesome landing spots. All of our guys, Jeremiah Love might not go to the Chiefs. He went to the Saints here, and it really doesn't matter. It's some of these wide receivers later on that really were frustrating, their landing spots. And like you mentioned, Mike, Jonah Coleman not going yet. There's a couple of other running backs possibly that could have gone on day 2. What are your thoughts to finish this off, guys?
Definitely a tough landing spot type of mock, but I think that's what we're going to expect out of the actual NFL draft. I think that we're going to see a lot of guys blown up when it comes to landing spots and draft capital. And then we're going to see a lot of guys rise up too. And it kind of blows away your process. And that's what I think you have to be wary of, and understanding that you can have the pre-draft process of super defined and you've been watching tape for 3 years and you think you know everything, but the draft can blow all that up. It can tear it up. And I was talking to my buddy Angelo on a pod today, and he was telling me that he had a first round grade on Javon Baker, and that's the reality of what happens, man. And a lot of these guys were vaulted up draft boards, and we see how that goes, whether it's character issues, whether it's landing spots. Some teams can't even develop talent whatsoever. So it's not something that you need to hold a lot of weight to, but you also have to be very careful, because if you have a guy valued and they land on the Patriots or some team that necessarily doesn't use wide receivers to their best ability and to their skill set, it could really just ruin them. And it's tough, and you got to be careful of what teams traditionally do that. If they fall under that category of teams that don't develop talent, we're looking at the Steelers, and they recently can't use guys to their ability. And then we see Pickens moved to Dallas, and all of a sudden he's a wide receiver 1. I don't know. It's tough to swallow sometimes, but it also shows you that you can't give up on guys too soon either.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shakeup. You'll see it in the draft, like you said, Mike. Like, you got to have the process. You got to kind of understand and know that this is what's going to happen, but really sticking to your guns a little bit on some of the players too, and and understanding that landing spot's only part of the picture. So, we've seen plenty of good landing spots. Keon Coleman explode and not work. So, it happens. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, there's another one. Kansas City shot, So, it happens, and you're going to miss. Don't worry about it. It happens. That's why rookie picks, although fun and intriguing, are never always the best investment sometimes in Dynasty. So,
And thank you for Javonte Williams there at the 202.
hey, yeah, okay. Yeah, when Elijah Sherrod is the next Mike Thomas, I'll be laughing.
Hey, yo.
Yo.
Jokes, okay. Jokes, all right.
I'm going to look back on this trade, though. I mean, hey, nobody thought Mike Thomas was going to be Mike Thomas either, so.
No, they didn't. All right. Well, we'll finish it off with that. I appreciate you coming aboard, Jeremy, tonight, doing this mock draft Monday. It was a lot of fun, a lot of weirdness going on with my internet, and we powered through, made it happen. So thank you out there for joining us on another Mock Draft Monday. We'll be back next week with Mike and Wyatt Bertolone from Player Profilers. So stay tuned for that and check out Mike's 2 rookie profiles coming up this week on Wednesday and Saturday. So for Jeremy and Mike, thank you. And remember, never stop working.
I guess he just didn't end the draft. So we're just going to end the stream and boom.